it again. Okay, so I am recording. We're playing around with the Zoom. Hello to the 13 people who are Zooming in. They're going to share the link. I'm going to try to remember to do it in 1 hour segments so that we can get it uploaded so that you guys can use this to share if you think it's something that you want to share. I'm Sara Marble. I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm sure all of you know that. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, that's fine. You can come sneak through. We love you, Lorena. You can do whatever you need to do. Just please watch that cord and don't trip. Thank you. Okay. Uh-oh. You can't hear me? Hold on. Let's see. Manage participants. Oh, you have it on yours. Okay. Good. Can they hear me? Or you can message. Can you guys hear me? Okay. We're good? Okay, good. I am going to start off and do some basic training first, because we've got lots of new people here or people who are ready to rock and roll, get their businesses started again. And there's just some basic tips and stuff that we can kind of go over that I think is really important for people to say, this is where I'm going to start. It's based off of, this is a really old PowerPoint. I'm not much of a PowerPoint person, but this is just some good information to kind of keep me on track with what I want to share with you guys. Dad, do you have a clicker?
No, you have to do that.
Okay. We can just go through it. So what I'm going to do is just share with you first a little bit about network marketing. You guys, is an amazing thing. I really have to tell you that this was something that I underestimated. I did not know what network marketing was. It really is amazing in the concept of, if you have a lot of people that each does a little bit, the magnitude of the people that we can touch and reach with just everybody doing a little bit. So to be able to set goals and have everybody say, well, I'm just going to work with the people that I know. I'm going to share with my group of people. Just think about if every single person in this room left this room and talked to 3 people. How many people do we have in this room? At least 50. So that's, yeah, over 150 people that just this room could go out and touch. Could I personally go share with 150 people? Yes, but it would take a whole lot longer for me to share than for all of us to just go out and share with 3 people. This concept is brilliant. I put on here that duplication is the key to network marketing. If we can learn a few steps that we can know that they're predictable, and that if we do the same steps over and over and over again, that they'll be able to lead to success. That's one of the goals that I hope to accomplish, to give you guys kind of a plan. Sorry we're so packed in here, Lorena.
That was wonderful.
Okay, awesome.
The big room next time.
Yes. The great thing with Plexus is they have given us a system. They have given us a series of steps of things that we can do to be successful. Now, currently we have the success guide, and some studios, somebody over here has one. Awesome. Very, very good. This success guide comes in every welcome pack. Now, I do have to say the type font is a little bit small and the print is a little bit, hard to read, but the information in that is outstanding. We have a brand new vice president of Ambassador Education, Marianne Luciano, who is absolutely phenomenal. She is going to start revamping that, but I have to tell you that the basics and the fundamentals that are in that success guide is what's going to get you going and what's going to keep you going to get results in your business. Let's flip over, and I can probably do the whole thing just from this. So this is just written down the chapters of getting started, identifying your why, making a list, learning how to contact people, following up. These, honestly, these 8 chapters that are in the success guide, and I have this PowerPoint. I think even uploaded to our team page if anybody needs it later. But these are just some of those simple things, and we're gonna rock and roll through this because we've got lots of other good stuff. But we're gonna actually chat about this. The welcome. We don't need to do this. Okay, getting somebody started. We've got lots of people. If you have been in Plexus less than a month, raise your hand. Very, very good. Okay, 3, 4. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Getting started right is really, really important. And I had to go back and apologize to a lot of my team members because when I joined, I didn't know what I was doing. Me and Mom kind of winged it together, and it's very encouraging that we kind of winged it all the way to Emerald. But now looking back and going back and knowing that there really can be a system that can help you to be successful, I want to share that with you guys. If you can sit somebody down and say, okay, listen, welcome to Plexus. I'd love to help you be as successful as you want to be in this business. Now, in the first 48 hours, I like to call it having a business strategy session with your new ambassador. If you have not had a business strategy session with your upline, or if you yourself have not conducted that with some of the people on your team, I think after this meeting, that would be a great thing to put on your calendar and say, I need to go out and have a business strategy session with my upline or with my sponsor. Why is that? Everybody joins Plexus for a different reason. So if Victoria joins my team and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got my next rock star. She's gonna be rocking and rolling. She's got a great network. You know, she's got this. If my expectations for what I want Victoria to be aren't the reason that she joined, if that's not her why, we're gonna have a disconnect from day one. And that disconnect can lead to frustration. It can lead to discouragement, because Victoria is gonna be like, why does she want me to get on all these three-way calls? I just wanna take my products. And I'm gonna be frustrated. Why isn't she talking to 5 people every single day? What's the problem with Victoria? So that disconnect can cause starting on the wrong foot from day one. So just having a chat saying, you know what, I'd love to know, why did you join Plexus? And if they say, I just want to get healthy, I just needed all of these products for the cheapest price, then we'll be able to say, you know what, I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you troubleshoot with your products, and I'm here to answer questions for you. If you have anything, please remember to bring that to me. And I know that she's not going to be somebody that I'm going to work as aggressively with as somebody who says, I need to earn $500 a month as fast as I can right now. That's going to be somebody that I'm sitting down making some pretty big goals with, making your list, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, how to share, how to reach out to people. So does that make sense to you guys? And it doesn't have to be scary. It can be a little phone call that just says, hey, I'd love to know, what do you want out of Plexus? Share with me why you joined. Those 2 questions, and that they're going to be able to open up to you and let you know what it is you want. I did go back with some ambassadors and say, listen, I never did this with you. Tell me, how can I help you with your goals? How can I help you to be successful? And we were able to have a really good conversation after that. Okay, being a product of the product. Very, very important. Let me caution you guys though. A lot of people say, I've joined, I'm going to start my products, and I'm not going to tell anyone until I've lost my first 20 pounds. How many people have heard somebody say that? Yes, we have to wait. We have to wait and make sure it works for us before we tell anyone. This is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to caution you against that. If you look at it as inviting people on the journey with you, how exciting is it if you could have 1 buddy or 2 buddies or 3 or 4 people who are ready to do this business with you and say, let's get healthy together. We can hit those milestones together. Mom and I made every single promotion that first year together and hit Emerald exactly the same month. I was losing weight, she was getting healthy, getting her blood sugar balanced. We were able to work together. So if somebody gives you that as a, hey, I'm just going to take my products. Now, granted, if they don't want to see any residual income, again, after that business strategy session, we're going to know what to do with them. But if somebody gives you that initial, I'm not going to tell anybody, I would encourage you to say, let's do this journey together. Let's invite you to share. And there are enough testimonials out there that you don't have to say, well, I have to wait to see if it works for me. Okay? One, the definition of it works could be different for everybody. Are you sleeping better? Are you having less pain? Are you losing pounds? Whatever it might be. There's a lot of different definitions for what working truly is. But being a product of the product is very, very important. Okay, I touched about this briefly with the business strategy session, identifying your why. Why you are doing Plexus is what's going to get you up in the morning and help you when you set your goals. Saying why I'm doing this is going to be your motivator. A lot of people have said your why should make you cry. Now, ultimately, in the beginning, for me, I just wanted to lose some baby weight. My why changed. My why grew. Every step that I took in my Plexus journey, I saw a bigger picture and I adjusted to, oh my goodness, this could truly be so much more than losing a few pounds. Now, if you are somebody who has struggled with your weight your entire life, if you've done the yo-yo dieting, the up and down, Your why could potentially make you cry. If your why is just, I need to get healthy, that truly can be enough for you if you know what it feels like to go around and around and around and lose 10 and gain 15 and then lose 20 and gain 30. That up and down truly can be a hard place to be emotionally. But identifying why you want to do Plexus, if all of you in here can't write one sentence, this is why I joined Plexus, I encourage you to go home and have that be your homework. It should be something very, aha, this is why I want to do that. Now, like I said, I wanted to lose some weight, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I think I can make some extra income do this. I would love to be able to not have to do my 12-hour night shifts anymore. So my why changed into that. And then it was like, oh my goodness, I actually could work enough that my husband could go part-time and we could be home with our boys more. It grew, and then it was, oh my goodness, we can change the lives of people in our community. What if we can change the lives of people in other countries, and grow to this why that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We're, as a team, building an orphanage in India that now has 25, wonderful children in it. It can be as much or as little as you want it to be, but identifying what it is essential, because that truly will be a motivator for you to keep moving forward. So 3 really easy questions when you're setting goals. Ask yourself, what do I want? Why do I want it? And what will I commit to get it? Now that third one, what am I willing to commit? That is a huge one, because you might have a new person that joins your team and they say, this is my goal, this is why I want it. They're setting, you're marching, and then it's, well, you need to share with some people. Oh, I don't know about talking to people. Or, 2 hours of evening TV. Let's kind of see if we can, bump that down a little and throw in a little personal growth and development. Oh, I'm going to have to do that too. And you might realize what they're willing to commit doesn't line up realistically with what their goals and what their why are. And there might need to be a little chat about, if these are truly your goals and where you want to go in Plexus, we might have to evaluate what are those steps that you're willing to do to realistically get to that endpoint. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. This is my favorite, making lists. A lot of people say this is so cliche. Can't believe you're going to make me write names down. Everybody in this room, if we did an exercise, you could probably write at least 50 names in 5 minutes, and I guarantee you everybody could put 100 names down in about 10 minutes. So I encourage you guys to do that, because network marketing is all about sharing. I could tell you story after story after story of people who are on a list or weren't on a list, who you didn't know one way or another, should I share Plexus with them? Should I not share Plexus with them? Somebody is going to share Plexus eventually with all the people that are going to be on your list. You getting those names written down, 100 is good, 200 is even better. Adding to that list regularly is very, very important. I can't tell who all is on here, but a lot of you have heard the story of my father-in-law's sister. Was rocking and rolling with Plexus. She was at convention for the 2nd year in a row, and she's not on my team because somebody else shared with her. So I could tell you 10 stories like that. If you think Plexus is awesome, somebody else does too, and they're going to share with everybody in their network. Happened to be a lady at her church that shared with her, and then she saw a post on Facebook, all that good stuff. So she's rocking and rolling, still love her to death. She's still, John's aunt. And one Plexus, one team, we're all going to work together, but how awesome would that be if she was actually on my team? So when you're making your list, I want you to remember, don't prejudge. You might look at them and say they're a size 0, they drive a nice car, they have a nice house, they probably don't need the money, they probably don't need to get healthy. You have no idea what people struggle with behind closed doors. So I want you to remember, don't ever prejudge. You might see that corporate person who's very successful, who hates commuting, who hates 10 to 12-hour work day. You never know what might be going on. Yeah, Grandpa's like, me. It's a little stuffy in here, huh? Just a little bit. It'll get cool, right? Okay. I'm listening. Okay, it's all good. It's just all these wonderful warm bodies in here that we've got crammed in here. And I always get excited when I talk Plexus too. So. Okay, so make a list. I want who in here has actually taken time to write names down on a list? Yay! Oh, I'm so proud of all of you. Great job. Okay, Now, here's the thing. When I had that list, it was in my brain first, and then I actually went and started writing names down. I had that top 10 of who I thought my dream team was going to be. And I want you guys to remember that we are in the farming business. We are planting seeds. Just because you share with somebody who you think is going to be perfect in Plexus, if they say no, doesn't mean it's going to be no every other time you follow up with them. So I want you to follow up with them occasionally. Don't be, overly neurotic about checking in with them every single day. But 2 of my top people that are emeralds on my team said no to me for over a year. So Casey said no to me, and I just kept, sharing and sharing and reinserting it into our lives. And fine if you did, fine if you didn't, but I really knew she was that dream team. I mean, I knew it was going to be there. So after over a year, I finally had one more conversation with her and just said, listen, as a friend, I really have to tell you, you got to jump on. And I was a little bit more, I don't want to say pushy, but my call to action was a little bit more, I promise I'll show you how we can do this together. And she said, okay, the time is right, and made Emerald in 1 year. Now, the story trickles down because Casey kept sharing with Aaron back there. And Aaron said, no, thank you, or something not quite so sweet, as no thank you. For another year of her watching Casey make this work. And now, Aaron, would you like to share with everybody what rank in Plexus Worldwide you are? Emerald Ambassador. So Aaron hit Emerald, has it been 2 months now? 2 months ago. But had I not been persistent in continuing to follow up with Casey for a year, and had she not been persistent in following up with Aaron, that's 2 emeralds that I would not have on my team. So I want you guys to remember, don't get discouraged, especially if you're new, because you're sharing. You might get 10 no's, 20 no's, 50 no's all at once, but that was just the first time you introduced your network to Plexus. They're going to watch you on Facebook. They're going to watch what you do. They're going to watch you consistently take your products. So don't get discouraged, because sometimes it feels like I'm planting, but just know that the rain is going to come like it has every single Monday for the last 6 weeks. And the sun's going to come out, and you will reap a harvest, okay? So I don't want you to get discouraged. And when you harvest, remember, you got to keep planting, because there's going to be more seasons that come. So we have to always keep sharing. I love hanging out with Mom, because it seems like everywhere we go, she, just in talking and sharing, manages to have Plexus come up. And it doesn't have to be a scary, horrible thing. Just in asking questions in everyday life with the people on the airplane or whatever it might be, Plexus is something that can be inserted very, very easily and very naturally into your life without it being something that's pushy or overwhelming or anything like that. Okay, add names, don't take away. Memory joggers is fine. Identify your top 25. Okay, we covered all that. Good. Moving right along. We got lots of stuff to cover, so I want to go fast. Okay, now this specifically talks about what is in your success guide for scripts to making inviting easier. I'm going to share with you a few of my, did I bring it? Scripts for actually how to talk to people. Because for some people, stepping out of their comfort zone and actually, okay, I've made my list, I've got my goals, I've got my why. How do I actually either pick up that phone or send that first Facebook message? If you do not have Sara Marble's book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business, this is basically a textbook for how to be successful in network marketing. I don't have to write a Sara Marble Diamond Ambassador Training guide, because Sarah Robbins has already done it for us. Now, she's not in Plexus, but this is network marketing generic. I feel totally 110% confident in recommending this to all of you, and you recommending it to your entire team. The scripts and the verbiages that she has in here are tested and proven. Anything from a message that says something like, let's see, let's do the expanding my business. Hey, I just wanted to check in with you. How are your kids doing? This might be a Facebook message to somebody that I went to high school with and now lives in Michigan. Love seeing your family grow, on Facebook. I would kind of open the door with either a compliment or just saying something about their lives, and then just say, hey, you know what? Your name came to mind. I'm actually looking to expand my business in your area. And I was wondering if you had a few minutes, maybe I could share with you what it is I'm doing so that you could let me know if you know of anybody that it would be a good fit for. Painless, right? It would just be a quick door opener, and you might get a, oh, sure, sure, call me, tomorrow at 5. I'd love to hear what you're up to. Or, no, I don't think so right now. But it's a great way to be able to open up the door and start a conversation with somebody who potentially is on, do all about that. Oh my gosh, they were homecoming queen and they were this and now they're a corporate this and they know 1,000 people. I really want to talk to them and you don't know what to say. This book has a lot of those good one-liner sentences. Big Al, who was at convention, he had some really, really good opening one-liners for how you can start a conversation. That I'm just curious, do you like your job? I'm just curious. Do you get to stay at home with your kids? There's a lot of, he actually has a book and it's called First Sentences. And the whole book just gives you ideas for how you can start a conversation. Now I want you to remember, talking to people and answering questions is a skill. And a skill can be practiced. So if you start sharing with people and you get a door slammed in your face or hung up on, you can say, well, you know what? That didn't go well. And you can kind of make a little bit of a, what did I say? What could I have done differently? And guess what? I got 99 more people on my list, so I get to practice a little bit more. That's the great thing about this, is it's very forgiving. Now, I will tell you, as somebody who doing my first presentation had no cards that I was hiding behind, I was petrified to talk in front of people. Sharing from your heart and just being honest and vulnerable is going to get you a lot further than you trying to pretend that you know every single answer. If any prospect that you chat with, anybody who you think, I think you're going to be really good in this business, if you just pick up the phone and say, I just wanted to share something with you because I think you're a pretty cool person. If the first question they ask you, you can't answer, here's what I want you to say. You know what? I'm pretty new to this Plexus thing. I don't know the answer to that, but I would love to find the answer out and I'll get right back with you. Okay, you don't have to pretend to know it all. As a Diamond Ambassador, sometimes I'm like, let me double check on that or triple check on that, or I think I've checked on that 5 times and I still don't have it right in my brain, but I'm going to get back to you. Because I would rather double or triple check with somebody and give them the correct information at a later time than to put a false front up and say, that persona of I know it all. Nobody likes to know it all. So just be honest and just be real, and people will see that genuineness coming from you, and they'll be, I think I could do this because she's a normal person. She's an average person. I could probably do that if she doesn't know all the answers too. So it makes you approachable if you just are able to share from your heart. Now, presenting the Plexus opportunity. Again, you don't have to be able to stand in front of a room of 50 people and share every single product in detail, ingredients, side effects, blah, 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 blah. You do not have to be able to do that. If you guys can get your hands on one brand new catalog that just came out, launched at convention, have you guys seen this? It's really, really good. This is all you need to effectively share Plexus. You could have a coffee date. You could chat, you could even have somebody on the phone, and you could have this as your cheat sheet in front of you, and they don't even know that you have it to use. So you could literally flip through this and say, Plexus Slim is our main flagship product. It's got this whole thing that you can read. Just once a day, simply pour your Plexus Slim pack into a bottle of water, drink and enjoy the delightful fruit punch flavor. Okay, I hadn't read that sentence, but anyway, you've got pictures, you've got prices, it's got the wording for you. Who can go to Panera or Starbucks with a catalog and sit next to somebody and just thumb through a catalog and discuss what's on each page? Yes. Could each of you do that? Yeah. Okay, let me see hands. Who could use a catalog? Very good. Very, very good. Now, the great thing about this is, say we get to the ProBio 5 page. Hey, Barbara. Dad, we might have to pass this chair back so Barbara can sit down. And are there some back there?
It's broken.
Oh, okay, very good. Are you sure there's some back there? Are there chairs back there? Okay, one chair. Is there one more chair back there? Okay, so now say you've got this catalog and you come to ProBio 5 and you're like, oh my gosh. You take a probiotic and they're probably going to say, no, I've heard that they're pretty good. Well, let me tell you what this ProBio 5 has done for me. Throw in a story about a product testimonial about you or somebody that you know in Plexus. You've got them leaning in, hook, line, oh man, I should probably get that. And then you click, oh my gosh, BioCleanse. Let me tell you my story about BioCleanse. Oh, I should probably get some of that too. By the end of this catalog, they need it all and they need a welcome pack and they need it today. So you guys make sure that you keep these in stock, because I go through these 25 packs, you know, like crazy. To be able to have a catalog, I have them in my purse, which is why my purse is so heavy. I keep them in my car. You don't know how many times I've had to run out to my car for a brochure, a business card, a catalog, something, because it's come up casually in conversation wherever I might be traveling, and I need to go run and get them this so I can share with them. So make sure that you have your tools that you can use to help quickly share with Plexus. So that's a really, really good thing. Okay, these steps are ongoing, learning, adjusting, and practicing. So it's basically you do something, and then you review and say, did that work, did that not work? If it didn't work, then you adjust and say, what do I need to do differently? And then you get to practice it again. And you just keep doing that cycle over and over and over again. After you've shared with somebody, and they ask you a whole bunch of other questions. Do I need to be retail? Do I need to be preferred? Maybe I should join. That should probably be better. If they're throwing a lot of things at you, that would be an awesome time for you to say, you know what? These are amazing questions. I'm new. I would love if you could jump on a conference call with me and my sponsor or my upline or the person who introduced Plexus to me. I would love for you to hear her story and help answer some of these questions that you have. Now, the trick to this is making sure that you get a time and permission from your upline or sponsor. Don't just three-way call them in, and I've had that done to me. Hey, you have a quick, shop for a three-way call, and then I get buzzed in immediately and have no clue who I'm talking to or why I'm talking to them. If you've shared with Plexus and you want to use your upline to help with some credibility and validation, make sure you call your sponsor and say, this is who I shared with. These are the questions that they have. I'd like to set up a time that we could all get on a call together so you can help work through that. I think three-way calls are very, very effective uses of time and helping with that credibility, because then they don't have to say Heather called her best friend from high school. Well, of course you're going to tell me this, Heather, you're my best friend from high school. If they hear from one other person, it offers that validation that, okay, Heather's not crazy. There's actually other people on the planet who think this Plexus thing is pretty cool too. Okay, very good. Am I going too fast, too slow? Follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up. I point blank asked Celeste Gwynn, who is our company's first double diamond. I was like, tell me how you do it. She was like, girl, I follow up until they slam the door in my face. 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, until they tell me don't ever come talk to me ever again, I'm going to follow up with them. And do you want to know, I don't have that slide for the statistic. I think they say something like 70% of people say yes after the 6th or 7th follow-up. So, it's crazy. It'd be crazy for you now. Like I said, it's not going to be daily. If they keep saying no, thank you, the timing's not right. This might be a 6-month process or over a year. I have to tell you, I have a brand new preferred customer who bought $166 worth of product, and I have been following up with her since a year ago, May. So it's been 13 months, and she just ordered this week. It was just a timing thing. She knew she needed it. She knew she wanted it. Things had to work out. But if I had not done that one last final follow-up, and I was just going through old Facebook messages of, wait a second, what happened to them? They never did order. Just checking back in. That's all it took. Bam, $166 order, okay? So make sure that you have some sort of system for following up, whether it's your Erin Condren planner, whether you have just a list on a notepad, these are the people that I've talked to, some way that these are the people that I've talked to, this is what they said when I talked to them, I'm gonna revisit them in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months, and just asking, hey, I appreciate that this isn't a good time for you. Would you mind if we have any specials coming up or any new products launched? Would you mind if I followed up with you or checked back in with you? More often than not, they'll probably say, sure, that'd be great. Because then when you come home from convention with a new product like Mega X, guess what? You just made a whole week's worth of work for yourself because you've got a whole list of people who haven't said yes to anything else. But guess what? Omegas 3, 6, 9, 5, and 7 on a plant-based capsule sounds pretty darn impressive to them. So they're going to maybe place that first order when they hadn't for every other time that you shared something with them. Okay? Awesome. Getting a lot of nodding yes, so that's maybe a good thing. Okay, now all of this information is great, but if you have all of this information and don't apply it, you're not going to get the results. And how many people in here want results? They want product volume, they want the pay points so they can rank up. So we need to learn how all of this information is going to get applied so that you can have results in your business. So the perfect 10 is something that Sheila Medina came up with. What is the perfect 10? This can be daily, weekly, monthly, or in an hour, depending on what your goals are for your business and what you need. The perfect 10 can be as much or as little as fast as you want it to be. And this is going to be sharing the product with 3 people, sharing the opportunity with 3 people, connecting with 3 team members, and attending 1 event. So that's going to be, that's a total of 10 things for the perfect 10. Now, could potentially the sharing with 3 people, sharing the product and opportunity with 3 people, connecting with 3 team members, and attending 1 event, could coming to a Monday night meeting get all of that knocked out in an hour? Absolutely. Because if you come on any other Monday night, Emerald Ambassador Cindy Jenkins, aka my mother, awesome mother, is going to share all of the products. So if you invited 3 new people to come sit in a room for a meeting, you've just shared the product with 3 new people, and guess what? You didn't have to open your mouth because you brought them to a meeting and let somebody else do it for you. We're then going to talk about the opportunity, which is going to be my dad or myself, and we're going to share with you what the compensation plan has done for people. So you've just gotten 3 people who got in front of the opportunity. Team members, that'd be even more fun. I think Annette is 100% A+ all of the time, has at least 3 team members. If you're on Annette's team, raise your hand, please. 1, 2, 3. Every single week, at least, well, 4, 2. Joe, you're on Annette's team too. Raise your hand. Every single week, that's right. Every single week, whether Annette's here or not, she's duplicating now, and she's got her own meetings in Metairie. Even when she's not here, she's got 3 team members here. So there's still 3 team members showing up, getting trained, motivated, encouraged. That's exactly right. Good job, guys.
She's under my husband.
Yeah. And so the actual meeting is the event. So how could we change that up a little? Could you do a Zoom call and invite 3 people and do the same exact thing? Absolutely. If you get 3 people to listen to the Wednesday night testimonial calls, they're going to share a little bit about product testimonials. They're going to share with you with the new Emerald, a business tip and the opportunity, and the event could be that phone call. So it can be as much or as little as you want it to be, as fast or as slow as you want it to be. If you've got meetings scheduled all week, you could bust out some perfect 10s like crazy in a week, and you're going to get some really good results. So it's all a matter of how many people do you want to share with to get the results of where you want to go.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Before I forget, so I was all excited to launch, share with a new product, and I was going to get on my list and introduce it to everyone.
Yes.
So which approach? I mean, obviously they can't buy it for 90 days.
Right.
So what should the approach be for that? Because people are seeing, we posted, people asking questions about it, and they can't order it.
Okay, so what I think she's asking, for those of you that didn't hear, what about this product that now has gone in the vault for 90 days and we can't get it? I think this is going to be a huge pre-sale opportunity to educate our team members and our prospects and customers about what the Omega 369, 5, and 7 are doing for people, are going to do for people. You're fine. Sharing educational, resources, articles, and I've got a few that I'm going to start posting on the team pages, and saying who you know that this could benefit, and truly making like a waiting list and creating some buzz and creating some excitement for, hey, we've got this product that's coming out in 90 days and you better be on the list to get them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love
Okay, yeah. Kind of that whole pre-sale,
Can't have it
you
yet.
can't, that's exactly right, but you want to be on the special list. That's exactly
I shared on my Facebook the first trial run, I didn't call it a pre-launch, but I said it was in such high demand that now we're not going to be able to get our hands on it for 90 days. So like the first run sold out.
Yep, create that positive spin. I think that's a brilliant idea. Good job. Very good. We will address that at the very end if we have time. If you guys have questions, I addressed it on my team training call last night, so we'll post the recording so that you guys can have that. Okay, Sarah Robbins technique, which is my favorite. 5, 3, 1. Now this again can be done in a month, in a week, in an hour. It's up to you as far as how fast you want to grow your business and get results. So 5, 3, 1, share with 5 people. Sarah Robbins says when she goes out to run her errands and do everything, she puts 5 business cards in her pocket. She's not coming home until she's managed to start a conversation and share her business card with 5 people. And it could be as simple as checking out. I've done this a lot. Checking out, buying some new outfits, saying, I cannot believe I got to buy all these clothes in a new size. And they're going to be like, oh, really? What you been doing? What size were you? What size are you now? That just is an open door for a way to start a conversation. Yeah, absolutely. If Shirley over there, I'm in a size 2 now. Yeah, good job, Shirley, for your size 2. Or, you know, it's such a bummer. I have to buy all these new clothes and a new size because I've got this amazing company convention I have to go to. I get to get all dressed up, you know, in a gala dress that I won. Just one sentence can pique somebody's curiosity for them to say, well, that sounds like fun. How'd you win a gala? And there's an open door for you to be able to share. It doesn't have to be, you know, pushy. You don't have to be a salesperson. Just starting a conversation with, you know, being approachable. I've actually made it a little bit of a mission, especially for grouchy people. I want people to smile back at me and be able to be a light in somebody's life. Somebody might not have hugged them or smiled at them or said something kind to them. If you think about your life with that mission of who can I make smile today, it really can be kind of fun. And I have to tell you, there's a guy at our post office.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm telling you, he was my mission. It took more than 6 months. And now I have to tell you, every single time I go in there to mail my 3-day trials, he smiles and says, where are you going today? And he starts talking to me. But it was 6 months of not looking at me, not smiling, not answering my questions. Like, he was miserable. And I have to be honest, if I worked at the post office as many days, he's there every single time I'm there. I would probably be grouchy too. But just having a positive attitude and engaging somebody, just asking them how their day is going. When somebody holds the door open for me, I say, thank you so much. You know, I really appreciate that. Just that little extra effort, you'll be shocked at how many people will ask you a question or engage back to you.
Okay, one more.
Yes. Yes. This is
so
your limit.
This,
You have one to
okay,
get
I'm
to.
sorry.
Okay.
It happens to me a lot while I'm like checking out, doing something. I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity. And then somebody comes up and there's 5 people behind me, and I'm
Yes.
like, okay, how do I just like really quick
Okay.
say something?
This happened to me. I had a salesperson when we went furniture shopping, and I could tell that she needed to move on to other things and that it needed to come around quickly. So the quickest thing that you can do is I pull up Facebook and I say, I see that you're really busy. I'd love to reconnect with you. Are you on Facebook? And they say yes, and I say, type in your name here. I'm going to send you a friend request. Because if nothing else happens from that, you've now introduced them as an audience member on what you're going to post on your feed. So even if you forget their name and don't get any information from them, you've just welcomed them to watch what you're doing, and they may reach out to you. So if it needs to be quick like that, I'm learning. And there have been several situations that I walk away and I'm like, dang, forgot to add them as a friend on Facebook. But how many of us have their phones like in their hand or on the counter? Yeah, everybody. So how quick and simple is it to say, hey, are you on Facebook? I'd love to add you. And I've never had somebody say no. So that's a really quick way you can do it. Okay, so you share with 5 new people. When you're making that list of 100, it might be, you know what, I'm going to sit down and send 5 Facebook messages. I'm going to sit down and make 5 phone calls, whatever it might be. Sharing with 5 people daily ultimately is going to be the goal to kind of get things rocking and rolling for you. Following up with 3 people, and I have to tell you, this is where I drop the ball the most. I have probably 6 or 7 new customers from last month, and they're getting ready to reship, and I have not followed up with them. I was in convention mode. Following up is key, especially for people who have already decided to order. Because if you answer their questions and keep engaging, if they feel like they're in a relationship with you, that they're purchasing their health and wellness products from you, that might potentially turn into a new team member. If they see, you know, this person is really good at following up and seeing how I'm doing, I'd like to, you know, continue this relationship, and I think I might want to join their team. So make sure that you're following up with at least 3 people. If you ever say, okay, I have 10 minutes to do a business activity, I recommend starting with who have I not followed up with today. That is going to generally be an income-producing activity for you to follow up with either prospects, potentials, people who are customers, or new ambassadors. And then the last one would be to reach out to 1 team member. If you've got 1 team member who's new, that first week you're probably going to be chatting with them more often, and then every 2 weeks, but checking in with a team member, because what did I say at the beginning? I could go out and talk to 150 people, but if I get 50 of you to all go out and share with 3, if I'm reaching out to a team member and saying, how can I help you? Is there anybody that I can do a 3-way call with? with you? Do you need a little bit of motivating or encouraging? You know, where are you stuck? If I'm reaching out to one team member, that team member is going to feel really supported, and they're going to be one of them that's going to be able to help go out and spread, because I can't share with their network, only they can share with their network. And sometimes one phone call can be the difference between them going forward and them saying, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. I think there's a saying that says everybody's only one negative experience away from quitting. So if we can check in with a team member and keep it positive for them, it will keep them motivated and moving forward. Okay, how am I doing?
I think you're doing beautifully.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now for those of you, I don't want to be throwing, I'm going to start getting glazed looks. We're going to have a few other people share after I do this big first chunk. For those of you that know me, what is my favorite thing in the whole wide world to talk about?
Personal development.
Very good. Personal growth and development. Okay, so I believe, oh, Mom said I was going to say me. I like to talk about her too. Okay, personal growth and development. I firmly believe that everybody can get somewhere without doing any personal growth and development. A lot of people can get pretty far without doing any personal growth and development. I also believe that eventually you will hit a place in your business or personally in that you say, uh-oh, I'm stuck. Okay, so it could be just a little bitty rock that you need to jump over, or it could come in the shape of a 12 by 12, brick wall that's 3 feet deep, and it stops you in your tracks. A lot of you have heard my story when I hit Emerald. That's when I realized I have no clue what I'm doing, and I better figure it out right now, because I had over 500 people looking up to me saying, what do I need to do? And I didn't know what to tell them. So when I hit Emerald, that was my wall of my growing is stopping, or my lack of growing in personal growth and development has me here for a reason. And now I'm going to say, how can I grow? So that's when I started my journey of picking up books. And I did bring a few of, I have probably 5 of these type Plexus bags in my car, in my office, you name it. And every single one has just a few of my favorite books. I was not a reader at all. I didn't read for fun or anything else. After I closed my last nursing school book, I vowed I'd never open a book again. But the great thing about network marketing is we can go as far as we want to, and I really feel like our personal growth and development can get us there slower, faster, depending on how much. So I took a year and a half to get to Emerald, from Emerald to Sapphire. And that's when I just started reading. And it was the most eye-opening experience ever. I opened my first book and I was like, oh my gosh, did you guys know this? Why isn't anybody else reading this? I've been waiting I was like, that answered like 100 of my questions. I've been walking around with this dazed and confused look on my face, and all the answers are right here in this book. And there's like, oh my gosh, did you guys read this book? In every single book, I'm like, wow, 9 companies in 10 years. I'm ahead of the curve. This dude, it took him forever to figure it out. So I'm going to learn from his mistakes when I read about Jordan Adler. Who knew network marketing was the most amazing thing on the planet? Flip-Flop's CEO is going to tell you all about why network marketing is so amazing. Wow, you mean if I develop my character and learn people skills and learn how to be a gracious leader and how to forgive people and all of that? If you guys haven't read Resolve, this is really good. Resolved is 13 resolutions to a better life. This is Orrin Woodward, and it's just, oh, it's so good. So how to, resilience, legacy, practice, attitude, character, having purpose in your life. This is not network marketing specific. This is just how can I, Sara Marble, relate to people better and just learn how to make myself better. So that's absolutely amazing. These, just so you guys know, it doesn't ever stop. I just got these today. So it's a continuing journey of maybe you're a baby network marketer like I was 4.5 years ago and you have no clue what network marketing is. I want you to get these kind of books, because this is going to say, this is what you can do to be successful in network marketing. As your journey grows, it might be, okay, I'm ready to learn. Now I've got 200 people under me. I need to learn the skills of what it takes to be a leader. Because once you get some people under you looking to you for direction and guidance, that throws a little bit of a monkey wrench in, okay, I'm just doing my own thing here. So there's a lot, if you guys, I probably have think I read 60 books last year. It's a little bit slower this year, but I'm taking on some of these bigger, more challenging books. If you guys need a recommendation, please come ask me, because I have to tell you, when I turned the TV off, as much as I loved American Idol and Parenthood, those weren't helping me grow my business, and those certainly weren't helping me with my life skills. So I traded that entertainment time in the evenings for reading, and I'm telling you, it was the most enlightening and eye-opening experience to be able to have such amazing information in these books. So if you are not a reader, that's okay, because they all come in audio. You can download podcasts to your iPhone. And again, how many of you have your iPhone like within 6 inches of your hand? We all do, absolutely. So it can Bluetooth through your car if you've got a free Plexus Lexus. You get in and your audios can start playing off of your phone. There's a lot of ways that you can listen. You know, the Mastermind CDs that I listen to, I've always got something either in my car but let me tell you, all joking aside, on those days that you wake up and say, I just had 10 people tell me no, or those days that you get 3 customers that call and say, you know what, this stuff isn't working for me, I quit. Or, you know, even worse, those team members who are like, you know, I don't think this is for me, or this week I'm putting it on the back burner. When you read and you fill your brain with all of these stories and all of these tips and all of these skills, it helps you. Sometimes the information in these books were what kept me doing network marketing one more day. And sometimes we just need one more day. Because then after tomorrow, we'll figure out the next step. But some of us just need to know we're just going to take one more step, one more day, and it may be one sentence of one of these books that you read, and you're going to underline it, and you're going to highlight it, and then you're going to put a star by it, and then you're going to go get to your Rona app on your phone, and you're going to make it look really cute and pretty, and then you're going to Instagram it, and that one quote is going to be something that holds on just for that little bit longer so that you can get some stuff figured out and keep going. So I really, really encourage you, don't take it lightly, because I really feel like we all can go as far as we grow. Somebody may have said that, or you can just put my name behind that if you want. Okay, so that's my list. Oh, and then also Millionaire by Halftime by Presley Swaggerty. A lot of people say, okay, this is really great information that you're giving me, but I'm not quite sure what to do with it. Millionaire by Halftime, after every chapter, has homework. It gives you a number 1, you have to do this. Number 2, and I think would it be a type A personality who needs a schedule and needs a list and needs the homework assignments? That's going to be a great book to be able to recommend to people to say, yes, I need to use this, because it's going to tell me what I can actually do to work my business. And then John Maxwell and Orrin Woodward are some of my favorites too. These are just some more titles that I had written up, and that's all of these that I have right here. Ask me later, or I have it on my training pages and my blogs and all of that for a few of my favorites. And I apologize, those of you, I promise my PowerPoint's not anything special, but I'll share it with you guys. Okay, I think this is the last slide in here. Okay, duplication is the repetition of a certain system to help achieve results. We don't have to recreate the wheel. That should be very encouraging to you guys, that you don't have to know how to build your own website. You don't have to be able to write your own ebook to share with your downline. If you guys don't know, I've already shared with you what the system is. So if you didn't write it down, your steps are going to be to make a list, and then to learn how to contact people on that list, and then learn how to present Plexus, whether it's with a meeting, a call, a catalog, follow up, and then do it all over again. 5 simple steps. If you just keep repeating, make a list, contact people on the list, show them the Plexus plan, follow up, and get them started either as a customer or an ambassador, and then repeat. Those 5 steps never change. And if we're constantly doing those 5 things, and we constantly have people at every level of those 5, it gets really fun and really, really exciting, okay? If I ever get stuck, I go back. I started this year with, let's make a new list. And I started over with a new list of 100 people. You should always be adding to that. But those 5 steps, they're easy, they're predictable, and they work. So you don't have to complicate it or recreate the wheel. Simple is better, keep it simple. What you do duplicates, good or bad. As much as I love management mode, just sitting back and refreshing and seeing how many team members I got, because everybody else was working, and I could train all day long. But guess what? If I'm not actually out there making promotions, sharing with people, following up, getting new customers, getting my personal volume over 1,000, helping to, earn the gala. If I'm not constantly setting goals and actively working towards building those goals, I might have a team that sits back and says, oh, well, Sarah's not doing that, and she's not coming to the meetings anymore, and she's not doing her calls anymore, and so I can kind of sit back. What you do duplicates, good or bad, no matter what it is. So make sure you recognize that even if you only have one team member or one customer, you are now a leader and somebody is watching. Oh, I just did the whole thing. I didn't know it was on there. Oh, very good. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording and then start it again, because then we'll do the 1 hour segments. Gosh, I'm really excited. Okay, so I'm going to
Tell her husband is trying to, conversation of Sunday dinner. One note,
what note?
one note.
One note.
What he's wanting me to,
Okay.
because you can set up reminders, but you can also have separate folders for each of the customers.
Is it an app or a computer program? Okay.
But he was laughing at me because I had an index box and I didn't do it.
Index boxes work for some people. I tried. I had 100 cards everywhere, and I never could file them the right way or move them the right time. Yes. Yes.
Success guy.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, it is an app.
Oh, good. Okay, it is an app.
OneNote, Microsoft OneNote for iPhone, Notes list. I think it costs you.
Okay, good. And remind me, and I'll still ask for what app. Okay, last slide, and then we're going to turn it over to the next speaker. How to grow your team. There's lots and lots of ways that you can share and present, lots of ways. Three-way calls, Facebook group chats, Google Hangouts, Zoom meetings, local meetings, opportunity events, team conference calls, online Facebook events. You guys, the sky is the limit for how we can share with people. Our online Facebook events have been very successful. In 2 hours, we get, all of the products presented, all of the opportunities shared, and without fail, after one of those 2 hour events, we have new team members who have joined. So those are really, really, I'll let you know when I have my next one scheduled. I don't have it on the calendar yet. But the options are endless for how you can share and reach out to people. Okay. I will tell you that I do have a Facebook business page, and it's called Sarah's Plexus Slim, and all I post on there is like articles about health things, and it's pretty Plexus specific, but of course with the name Sarah's Plexus Slim, you would assume that. I regularly get inquiries, what I call my cold leads, people who have just seen and noticed me on Facebook who say, hey, what is this? How much is it? Where can I buy it? If you are sharing, and this is kind of switching over to what Dad's going to talk about, but if you're creating value for people who follow you on Facebook, they might just say, hey, this person seems like they know a little bit about what they're talking about, and I think I want to be a part of what they're doing. So as you're posting and sharing, if you have any questions about possibly setting up a Facebook business page, you can ask me about that too, because that can be another good way to reach out to people. So, okay, awesome. I'm going to take a break talking, but I am going to be back. I'm going to turn it over to Gold Ambassador Jay Jenkins. I have to tell you guys, we really underutilized this guy. And after delegating that Sunday night training call and it just being a home run, I'm thinking I should delegate a few more things. So I asked him, I said, hey, you were at convention. How would you like to share what your takeaways were? And 2 PowerPoints later, he's ready to tell you all about what he learned. So I am going to be watching the clock. I'm going to drink my coffee, but I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay. It's 7:08.
Ambassador Power.
That's right. I'm absolutely delighted to be here tonight and be with you all and chat about 2 things. Okay. The first one we're going to talk about is leadership, and then the second one is I'm going to do a little recap, which you got on the Monday night call, but I'm going to go into more detail on the social media presentation that Jen Hawkins did for the Gold and Below ambassadors at convention. The first one is how to lead teams. And the fact that you all are here is a good indication that you are a leader in one way or another. Now, not all teams are the same, and not all leadership works with every team. And that's kind of what I want to focus on. And here's why. Let's see if I can do this. There. I am not a network marketing rock star. I live in the shadow of an emerald. My daughter Stacy is a senior Ruby, and we all know who the Diamond is in the family. But I have a little bit of experience in leadership. I was a senior naval officer for 21 years. I've been a leader in many nonprofit, church organizations. I was an executive with several large corporations. And as I said, I do network marketing. So there's leadership that goes with each one of these different activities. And they're all have foundational things, but they're also very different in the way they work. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about this evening. Slow down. Let's try this again. Up, up. There. What's it take to lead a team? Well, if you start from the top, and Sarah, good segue into this with team building. If you stop from looking at the macro view of building a team, there's a couple of things you need to do. You need to nurture your team. You need to bring them along. And Sarah's done a great job. This stuff is nurturing your team by using all of these books and the meetings and everything else that you have. And what you're doing is you're nurturing your team, is you're building up the people on your team. Everybody needs to be built up. Everybody needs to be encouraged. Everybody needs to be trained and taught to do what they need to do to be successful in their business. And in doing that, you're investing in them. And there's a bunch of cliches about what you get out of your business when you invest in other people and you put them first. So that to me is the fundamental of really good leadership, is that we invest in our people. And as we do that, we grow our teams. Let's talk a little bit about, man, it's fast. Two different kinds of teams. And I'm going to rely on my experience here to talk about those. The first is a military team. Having been in the military for 21 years, I have great experience. I was trained to be a leader in that environment. And the other is a nonprofit. Now, as I said, that's my experience in church, but you can also make that as a network marketing team. Because in network marketing, we're for-profit, but there are many aspects of a network marketing team that apply to a nonprofit. The first is, let's start with membership. You're a member of a military team. You are there because you've signed on a piece of paper. And once you sign, you're committed. You're going to do what they tell you, when they tell you. You're going to go where they want you to go, not where you want to go. Big difference from being a volunteer. We all are volunteers. Church organizations are all volunteers. We're here because we want to be here. We want to be part of that team and try to achieve the objectives and the mission of that team. Big, big difference between the two of those things. In many cases, the motivation for those teams is the same. It's a higher cause. Many people join the military because they want to serve their country. They see that as a higher cause. The same thing with a nonprofit or a church organization. You join that team because you want to contribute to a higher cause. The basis of authority to lead from those teams is very different. In a military team, you lead based on position. There's no questions. The captain is the boss. You do what the captain says every time, and you don't question that. Not so much in a nonprofit team. There has to be trust there. They have to be willing to agree with you and say, you know what, I know what his heart is. I know that's sincere and genuine. I know that's going to work towards our mission. I'm going to voluntarily and willingly do that. So big, big difference between the two of those. These two are the same, respect and charisma. Those things drive leadership regardless of what organization you're in. And then you have the other one, organizational structure in the military. In other words, the hierarchy from top to bottom works in corporate America the same way. And then in a nonprofit or in a network marketing team, relationships are what drive the leadership and make it effective. So you can see there's a couple of places where it's very, very different, but many places where it's the same. The organizational objectives for military, national defense, to protect our freedoms, and to do what's right. In a nonprofit, we want to have the betterment of the individual. Same for network marketing, right? We're there because we want to improve people's lives. Again, the objectives of relationships and building personal growth, very much unique to volunteer and nonprofit organizations as opposed to a military or a conscripted organization. Does that make sense to y'all? Is that pretty good? Because this is kind of the foundation that we're going to build on for the next couple of slides. So what does it look like? Oh, man, I don't know why it goes so fast. We already talked about that. So what's it take to be successful and to be a good leader? First, you have to build relationships. I'm going to talk specifically about our nonprofit or our network marketing teams. You need to build relationships. That's why women are so incredibly successful in network marketing. It's because they are built to nurture and to have relationships. It's a little tougher for us men to do that, but that becomes the foundation for your team. You need to establish trust and credibility. That's why I put that slide up there about my work history. I wanted to establish credibility with you all as to what I was going to say was going to be worthwhile. We have to do the same thing when we're out sharing our opportunity and our products, the exact same thing. We have to be those who guide our team members to their goals. We'll talk a little bit about this in the next slide, but and Sarah has already touched on it. We don't want our goals to be someone else's goal. The reason they joined our team is their reason, not our reason. They have their own why, and it may or may not be the same as ours, and in many cases it's not. So we have to be able to guide folks along to achieve what they want to achieve in their lives. And then we have to be, as a leader, someone who removes roadblocks. And I spent much of my career doing this, removing roadblocks to success. When someone comes and says, I can't do this because, you listen very carefully and find out why they can't do it. And then it becomes your role, because you are the leader, you're either the upline or you're the boss, you have resources available to you to be able to get in there and execute something to remove the roadblocks from that person's success. When you do that, they're successful and you are successful. Okay, gently. Yes. Last slide. To be successful, don't direct, tell, or give orders to your team. That works great in the military environment. That's the way the military environment is built. In network marketing and in nonprofits, you will be flat on your face in a very short period of time if you do that. You can't, we go back to relationships, we go back to nurturing, we go back to working with your people to help them get what they want, not what you want necessarily. And that's exactly what this is. Don't make your goals and objectives your team members' goals and objectives. You can have high-level goals and objectives that you're all willing to go. I mean, we all are involved in a health and wellness company. So health and wellness, making people financially free and physically free in their lives are very important high-level goals and objectives. But once you get below that, then it becomes a very unique perspective. And it becomes something that you need to work in that business strategy meeting that you're going to hold with your ambassadors. You're going to figure out what their goals and objectives are, and that's what you're going to work towards. They have their reasons for being part of your team, and Sarah touched on this again. Be careful with what your expectations are. They're your expectations. You need to make sure in that business strategy meeting that your folks understand yours and you understand theirs. And when you do that, you can work together as an effective team to both be successful. And I love this, is to always see the best in your team members. That's sometimes difficult to do. But
I take that personal.
always see the best in your team members. You look beautiful tonight. Yes, ma'am.
What do you say to someone, like, you know, you're asking them or telling them about the product, and they say, I don't have that kind of money?
That's I think we'll hold that question to the end, because that's a great question, and we get that question a lot. Our products have very high value, and it's a matter of understanding that person's situation to be able to answer that properly. So let's see if we have some time at the end to address that. If not, I'll chat with you. We'll go through that. So any questions on what I covered on this team leadership? Okay, we're going to jump to the next one. Get to watch all of this live, right?
Would you like me to help you?
You're welcome.
I'll try.
You try. It's just the down arrow is all I'm trying to push, right?
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, at the convention, Jen Hawkins did a session on social media. And go ahead, get ready to hit the next one. So what I'm going to do is try to pick up on some of these. There's no doubt at all, that where we are today with technology, that social media plays a huge role in each one of our businesses. You have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and I probably missed 10 other ones that are out there that are either on the forefront or gone one way or the other. Social media, however, should not be your sole source for your business. There are those who leveraged it and done incredibly well with it, but you cannot make, and this is what Jen told us at convention, she has not made social media the sole source for her business contacts. You need to leverage your personal network. I love what Celeste Gwynn, our double diamond, said. She said, I've been working on my network for 37 years. She happens to be 37, 38 years old. The story in that is we've all been working on building our network forever. And that's what we have to work with, is the network of people who are in our lives. So what we're going to do is do a quick review of the key points that Jen talked about, and then I'm going to go through the Facebook posting strategy that we talked about on the call 2 weeks ago. And we'll go through that quickly. So the first thing is be consistent. You are being watched. Whether you know it or not, I've been surprised more often than not. In fact, who were we talking with this weekend that said, oh yeah, I watch you on Facebook all the time?
Curtis.
Yeah, I thought, someone I hadn't seen for years, right? I'm watching you and your family on Facebook all the time. So you are being watched. So people will know when you start posting. You come back from convention, you're all excited, you're ready to go, and you start the strategy off, and 2 weeks later you quit. What message does that send to the folks who are watching you? That may have been interested in Plexus, and they see you going, and all of a sudden, stop. You thought, well, I guess they're not interested anymore. I guess the product doesn't work. I'm not going to follow that. And if they say anything, there's much less credibility in that. So inconsistency sends a negative message. And you need to be consistent. Pick a comfortable frequency of posts that you're going to do. When we talk about the strategy, if once a day, once a week, whatever it is, doesn't work for you, change it and make it work for you. Okay. Next one. So be consistent. Next one, always be positive. Always see the best in your teammate, right? Always be positive. Your online persona, who you are online, will be reflected in what you post. If you are whining and crying and complaining all the time, people are not going to want to be part of that, right? So you need to be positive. It's good for you anyway. Always take the high road. Always err on the side of love, and always give someone the benefit of the doubt.
Can you say that one again?
Engage your network. So engage your network with passion and excellent content. And I, like Sarah, am a reader. I think that's something that she inherited from me. And this is a great book. Let me see if they can see this here. Right? This is by Gary Vaynerchuk. It's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. Personal post, a little bit interesting. How about trying Plexus, right? Jab, 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 right hook. It talks about all kinds of social media, not just Facebook. It's an excellent book. It gives tons of examples in here of companies that do it right and companies that do it wrong, and people that do it right and people that do it wrong. It's a fast read. Gary Vaynerchuk is a guru in social media. He has made himself a gazillionaire by his commentary and his expertise in social media. Highly recommend this and any of his books that you would like to try. Make sure your content is, people want to have value added to their lives. When you post something, make sure it's content that's going to be worthwhile to them. And make sure that it's appropriate for the platform. So if you're going to go to YouTube, you want to do videos. If you're going to go to Instagram, that's photos. If you're going to go to Facebook, Facebook is basically a storytelling platform with videos and pictures and text, right? So use the right content for each platform. And then be balanced in what you post. Be personal. Reach out to the hearts. I mean, Heidi came over to me today, or no, it wasn't Heidi, it was Colleen. Came over to me today and she said, I love the post that you had on today that Cindy put on of you and Emmy eating soup together. Emmy is my 20-month-old granddaughter. And
Your sidekick.
my sidekick, my shadow, right. And so that connected with the hearts of a lot of folks. That was a great post. Absolutely was. Because it was sharing part of my life and my experiences and through my wife's eyes, right? Don't do ad-like posts. Please don't put message me or put your web link there. There's other ways to get that information out besides that. So don't put those in your post. Be authentic and be sincere. Your audience will notice and will take it and will appreciate that. Okay, here's the posting strategy that Jen shared, right? Do one non-Plexus post per day. A picture of you eating soup with your granddaughter, right? Something similar to that. Do one Plexus post per day and make it personal. Enjoyed my fast relief this morning because I had a great workout the day before and I couldn't get out of bed and I heard everywhere, and ease took care of all of that. Twice a week, make your post a call to comment, right? A call to comment is a call to action in social media terms, right? Who do you think Stacy did one today? What about all this rain, right? That was just a call to comment. Sarah's done it a number of times. What dress should I wear to gala? Right?
So, and sometimes I ask the question, I'm not really anticipating 500 comments of people have a really big opinion about it.
Right.
It gets people onto your page and looking at what you're doing.
Right. The Facebook algorithm for why posts are bumped up and why they're seen over and over again is in here. It's worth reading this book just to understand what that algorithm is all about and to make your posts effective, right? So you want to do that twice a week. Once a week, you want to call out to your Plexus friends. I don't know about you. I've got like probably 2,500 Facebook friends. Probably 2,000 of them are Plexus. 500 of them are non-Plexus. Here's an opportunity to reach out to your Plexus friends. Let them comment on something so that your non-Plexus friends get some perspective on what's going on in the world of Plexus. Like, took my slim today, feel great. How about you? And if you see that from a fellow ambassador, jump on, because the more you comment, the more that's bumped up, the more people will see that. That's good for all of us, right? And that's the example of that right there. Okay, I think I have one more slide. Nurture your network. This goes along with what I talked about in leadership. Don't stop adding to your network. See, Sarah said, don't stop building that list. Nurture those relationships online. We've got a lot of friends that we have that the only way we keep in touch with them is online with Facebook and other things. Acknowledge life events. Like Sarah said, you see that list in the birthdays? That's really a good thing that Facebook did for us, right? How easy is it to look every morning? Who's having a birthday? Happy birthday. Boom. Done. 10 seconds. And you've nurtured a relationship, right? Be genuine and sincere. And remember, this is huge. You're representing all of us if you're posting about Plexus. So make sure that it's good. Make sure the content's good. Make sure that it reflects well on us as a company and on you as an ambassador. I think that's it. Thank you very much. I'm done.
Holly has a question, Dad.
Is it advantageous for us as ambassadors to be on other ambassadors' pages?
That's a hard question. I don't know. I think it depends on the situation and it depends on the post. Maybe if you would, so that I understand clearly and maybe others don't understand, what do you mean when you say be on others' pages?
Is it advantageous for me to be friends with other ambassadors that are not on my team, or?
I would say the answer to that is absolutely yes. Because again, it goes back to what we were talking about before. You have the opportunity to comment on their post. They have the opportunity to comment on your post. If you comment on theirs now, or something that you have said gets shared by them, you've now reached into a whole other network, right? And you may have the opportunity to touch someone in someone else's network that you wouldn't have reached if the post had just stayed in your network.
Now, I think where it gets a little bit sticky is if that's all you're seeing in your news feed, and I don't know if any of you saw or if they specifically addressed making lists.
No.
You can actually make a non-Plexus news feed with a list so that you can make sure you're always checking in with the people who are not in your, because like for me, I've got almost 5,000 friends and 3,000 of them are probably Plexus. So that's all I see in my newsfeed, and I miss a lot of my non-Plexus friends. So maybe we'll do a Zoom meeting or some kind of Google Hangout so I can teach you guys how to separate. So I say yes, if there's somebody who is specifically inspirational to you and you say, you know what, I love how they post on Facebook, I like to follow that just because it gives me ideas for being creative and new ways to share. But if you are, tired of seeing Plexus post after Plexus post, that might be a time that we can actually separate out so that you make sure that you're going to see non-Plexus posts.
So people who are my friends that I have friended are only going to see those people, what I post,
Or
unless they are friends with.
if you like or comment, so you're friends with me, if you like or comment something of mine, your network, if they have their settings the right way, will be able to then see my posts. If you like or comment on something. I have had customers who have ordered, and when I say, hey, how did you hear about Plexus? They say, well, somebody who liked and commented on a post and then shared this, like they tried to trace it back 5 or 6 people and they don't know where it originally it just ended up in their newsfeed and I was the person who shared it, or whatever the case might be. So I have had that happen. It's just a matter of, be cautious with who you're, you don't have to accept every friend request that comes through, but I do think it is good to be friends, especially with your team. That's a big one, is to be able to be involved with senior. And that's what I was gonna say about social media. Sometimes that first Plexus post, I've had some ambassadors, they're so nervous, it'll take a week for them to write 3 sentences because how they actually announce to their Facebook world, I'm doing Plexus, it can be scary and overwhelming, and that's when it's awesome to have a team come and they make their first post, and then you've got all these wonderful, encouraging, inspirational comments, and they're like, yay, I did it, and it really is that step out of their comfort zone for that very first Plexus post.
Let me share one thing, though, that goes along with what you were talking about. And I'm going to speak on behalf of you because this is what I've seen. One of the things that I wish people would not do would be to tag folks without permission. So Sarah gets tagged all the time because she has this huge network, and then it goes to their network. If you want to do that, please ask, to be tagged or permission to tag someone. Don't just inadvertently list the top 50 Diamond Ambassadors that you don't know in your post, and just to access their network. I think that is ugly.
And just FYI, you can have your settings where you have to approve every single post, and unfortunately, that's what I have to do. Is I go through every single post and I say, approved, unapproved. How awesome is Jay Jenkins? That's pretty amazing. Thank you. We always keep it fun and exciting. That is really good, and I just love when people hear information. It means different things to different people, and to be able to hear takeaways in what the convention was. How many people here were able to go to the convention? Yay! Very good, awesome. I'm going to take the next little bit. I've asked a few people, and if I didn't ask you, you have one little thing if you want to share. I'm going to have a few people share, but I asked a few people if they would just like to share either one of their biggest takeaways or one of their business or one of their, business tips for that's really what spoke to me. Yes, we can probably turn that off for now. That would be great. And I think that hearing from a lot of different people can really kind of help reinforce something, or if it's a way that you didn't look at the information, to be able for you guys to hear, and then for those of you who are not able to go to convention as well. Erin, I guess since you're in the back and I'm looking at you and looks like you're ready to rock and roll, I'm going to let you come up and share for a minute. We're going to let Emerald Ambassador Erin Aiken share.
Wow, it's hard to come up with one takeaway from convention, because there was so much incredibly awesome information. If you were not there, the speakers were incredible, the speakers that were brought in by Plexus, and then the actual Plexus ambassadors who spoke. It was just awesomeness on top of awesomeness. But if I had to really sum up one of the biggest things for me, it would probably be, especially being a new Emerald and being someone who, you know, we've retired my husband from the medical field, and he's pretty close to being Emerald, and this is our future now. This is it. This is where we're looking at this as a long-term career and way to support our family, and even better, keep meeting incredible people and building all these relationships. So you always wonder, oh, well, how long is this going to last? Or am I safe in betting on this? And I can tell you, I pretty much knew before convention, but if I even had a little bit of doubt, when we left there, there was no question in my mind or my husband's mind, and I think most of my team that was there, that this company is A, 100% integrity all the way. B, all about making sure they take care of us and our customers, and that we're not going anywhere. And this is like, we're not nowhere near the crest of this. I really can see where 25 years from now, we will be rocking some more grandbabies, and, you know, hopefully our kids will be doing really well with Plexus, and we'll just look back and giggle and think, and we were worried that we were putting all of our eggs in this basket. I just feel like this company is so solid on the products, solid on the message, solid on the way they treat us. I mean, how many companies would do something that seems tiny, like reissuing all those bags? That's a big expense. How many companies would do something like redoing a product a week after it's been launched? Just every single thing I saw told me that our leadership is, I don't think you could find better. You know, those guys are always available when you have questions. They were out and about talking to people constantly. And I think solid future integrity is the biggest thing I took away. You know, in addition to the whole one Plexus theme, you know, this company, I don't care, we talk to people every day, and it doesn't matter if you're on my team, if you're sidelined to me, if you're nowhere, you know, connected to Sara, we're going to help everyone we can and get help from whoever we can and all be together as one team, and there's no competition. And you just don't see that anywhere else. And I'm telling you, we are so blessed. I cannot even imagine another company doing for their people and having the kind of integrity Plexus does. So awesome. Very good.
You know, overwhelmingly, it's so amazing to go to such a big event and have over 7,000 people all in one room. I got to thinking though, you know, executives who have to go do training and whatever conventions they have, I don't know if they have fun like Plexus people do. It truly, this was I guess I've been to all of the conventions. This is my 5th convention. To be able to walk into a room of 7,000 and feel like you're walking into somebody's living room with family, it truly felt like it didn't matter whose team you were on, who your leader was, that it's just one big happy company all working together for the greater good. And that's something very, very unique. For those of you that don't know, our compensation plan is one of the few, if not only, I haven't researched all of the companies out there, but we don't set up for sideline competition. If somebody else's team does great and knocks it out of the parks with sales, that's going to help our pay point. It's going to go into the pot for everybody. Whereas there's other companies out there and the sidelines compete with each other. They actually want to hoard their team secrets because if they do well, they don't want their sideline teams to know about it because it would give them an advantage the way the compensation plan is set up. So we have a brilliant compensation plan that lends to all of us sharing, learning, growing, moving forward together. The whole theme of convention being one Plexus and all being one team is truly exemplified in that. That if I figure out, oh my gosh, you guys, did you know these online Facebook meetings go really well? Why would I keep that to myself? Let's tell everybody so that everybody in the company can benefit. The same way, you know, me and Amy, when we did our first online event, it took us 3 days to get this whole event posted. So then Danielle was like, you know, this is a really great concept, but I have a lot to do in my life, you know, and starting Friday night and not finishing till Sunday night is a little bit crazy. So Danielle took our concept and tweaked it, and she did this awesome format so we could bust that thing out in 2 hours. And when she called me and said, Sarah, I just did an online event and it only took 2 hours and we've got however many new team members, I was like, get out of this world. I mean, I was just blown away. So she shared that back with me, and we've been able to share it with other teams, and now they're all duplicating that, and everybody, and you know, lots of people in Plexus are doing it. So to have the unique opportunity to see that 7,000, 10,000, 250,000 Plexus ambassadors can all truly be one team, one mission, all working together for one Plexus. It's a great place to be, you guys. We are in the right company at the right time with the right products, with the right people. And seeing all of the people who are excited and motivated and encouraged and inspired convention, there's just nothing like it. Yes.
Another thing that was really impressive to me is that we had 3 amazing speakers that were not in Plexus. That has been in network marketing forever and have all the skills to teach everybody, and how they edify not only our executives, but our company, our compensation plan, and at the end, Les Brown.
Yes.
Everybody's it was amazing.
Yes.
He made everybody stand up and hold up their hands and much on our executives and put this prayer in. It's just like,
it was amazing, absolutely amazing. There's actually a YouTube video of the Les Brown talk floating around.
Oh, wow.
It's a, what's that called when it's a
Bootleg.
bootleg? It's a bootleg. Somebody filmed it on their camera. It's in 2 segments, and I'll see if I can put, somebody remind me, message me tonight, and I'll see if I can find it. Because Les Brown, what he said, it's like every sentence out of his mouth, it's like, say that again, I have to write it down. And it was a whole hour of him doing that. Yeah, his laugh was awesome. But I agree with you, Libby. Having Troy Dooley, if you guys don't follow Troy Dooley on Facebook, that might be a good one for you to go follow. He has been doing posts, you know, every other day or so, talking about how much he loves our company, and to get that validation from an outside.
One of his segments floating around, I found it.
Oh, really?
8 pillars.
Yeah, that 8 pillars was amazing. And I still, all of the notes and all of the information is still just like floating around in here. And I haven't actually sat down to, like, you know, really think about it and yes, get it all on paper, but eventually I will. But I know there's a lot of copies of notes, but his 8 pillars were outstanding. So yes, I truly agree that the people that they brought in to share, everybody went away with the sense of, wow, it was just a home run for knowledge, inspiration, motivation, training. You know, it was a really, really good mix.
you're talking about 8 pillars from Troy.
Dooley, yes,
Okay.
yes. And I know the actual 8, Leanne touched on them last night on our call and just did 1 sentence or so from last night's call, but she's going to go ahead and type up all of her notes. So when she gets that, I'll post it on the team pages. Betsy, if you like to come share a little bit, do you want to? Okay, for everybody that doesn't know, this is Senior Ruby Betsy Collard. And you guys, tell everybody how far you drove.
Well, I was at my mom's, so 45 minutes from there, but it's 2 hours to her house. So.
She came to our meeting tonight. I'm glad you did. I'm going to let you share. Thank you.
Well, I'm kind of going to piggyback on what Erin said about, this is actually my 4th convention, and I can honestly say that every convention gets better and better. You would think that most companies you go to, it's just like the same old boring thing. You would get tired of it, but I get more inspired every year. And I can't really, when Sarah's like, can you think of one big thing? I was like, told my mom, I was like, I don't think I can think of one big thing. Can you help me think of one big thing? Because I just don't feel like I can. But the biggest inspiration that I got from it was to just really, if you have the will to be successful in this business, do it. The only person that's stopping us from being successful is us and our fears and our insecurities. But if we have the will to do it, we can do it. And just to be really bold. And I loved, and I'm out of breath because of this thing going on here. I'm not nervous, but I'm just really 33 weeks pregnant. With our breakout session from the senior goals to senior rubies, I loved what Tamara had to say, and also who else did it? Tamara and Elizabeth. They really talked about how they reach out to new people, and that's something that I've kind of hit or miss throughout my journey. Just from, we all struggle with, oh my God, what are they going to say? Or I'm scared to reach out to them. And it's just easy to hide behind Facebook sometimes. And it's easy to just hide behind that. But what I took from them was that all of these people that are super successful, they're not just sitting behind Facebook. They're reaching out to people every single day. They're following up with people every day. And so I just went home and I was like, what better time to really reach out to new people than now? They've seen my journey. They see I'm having a blast. I've been doing this a while now. So I just started reaching out to like these people that I thought would be amazing. And I've gotten the best, I've got feedback from all these people, and I've got new ambassadors joining my team and all this stuff. So one big takeaway I would say is to be bold. The time is now. Don't wait 3 years to be bold. Don't wait, don't let fear stop you from, having the destiny that God wants you to have, because we literally are the people that are stopping ourselves from being successful. That every single person there can be a diamond, but the way that you get to diamond is literally just getting out of your own way and just facing those fears and just going for it. And failing forward, because we're all going to fail. We're all going to have those people that tell us no. We're all going to have those people that ignore us. We're all going to have those people that, some will say yes. And the only way we'll know is if we actually just go for it and do it and be bold. And I love that Les Brown came in. He knocked it off the park at the end. And that was basically his whole message was, you just have to go for it. You have to create your own destiny. It's there for us. We're in the right company, the right time, the right product. Everything is perfect, but we're the ones who have to take hold of that and just make it happen. So that was my biggest takeaway.
Very good.
Y'all remember when I was pregnant with Hudson and I used to do my meetings and everything was like, do you need to sit down? Do you need some water? And I was huffing and puffing, and I didn't look as good as you look. You look amazing. I'm like waddling and Plexus flu. And I really couldn't catch it. And it was the same thing. You can't breathe when you've got a baby.
I remember trying to memorize how to do my first team meetings. I remember watching your videos.
Yes. Yes. So if you want just first kicks and grins, y'all go to my YouTube channel and scroll way back 3 years ago. And there's, yes, I even had a big 2XL Plexus shirt that stretched all over my big pregnant belly. And I huffed and I puffed all the way through those trainings. So thank you for sharing. Oh, that just brought back memories. I'm not going back there ever again.
That was right before you hit Emerald, so
yes.
I'm following your footsteps.
There you go. Absolutely. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing. And I really do think we could have an entire night of, a powwow of saying what were your takeaways. I think some of the most exciting things for me watching as a leader, watching the excitement. I had so many new ambassadors who this was their first convention, and just seeing the, oh my gosh, even just running to go get a seat, just that anticipation of, I can't believe we get to be a part of this. It was so much fun to just watch them and really see them, the excitement of, the confirmation I did make the right decision. So if there were some people who had just joined a week before convention and were at their first convention, I was like, wow, that is an amazing place to be able to start. Because, when you start, your belief is at an all-time, I want this to be the best that it can be, and to be able to have that passion ignited and then be able to get them to go, share and be bold. That's great. I actually, was messaging with Jen Hawkins today, And she said she reached out to one of her third grade teachers and they joined her team today. And so I think that's so awesome to know that even people who are working on Double Diamond are still making their list and still reaching out to people and still getting excited when a third grade teacher from way back when decides to join your team. So I think that's great. Yes.
There was a young new ambassador that had a obviously better camera than just an iPhone. She was going around to all of us in line as we were waiting to get into the store and recording our 20-second why we wanted to do this. And she's going to put it all together. And I thought that was just very unique.
Emerald Ambassador Danielle. Love
It's hard to follow behind those two, really? Seriously? Like, I think they told y'all everything. This was my 4th convention as well. So you and I are going to talk afterwards, by the way, Betsy. So when I got there, I don't know about you, but I kind of knew what to expect. You know, we knew we were going to have a new product to be announced. We knew we'd have amazing guest speakers because our company really believes in building the leaders. And that's what I absolutely love. I was in a direct sales company for a full 7 years prior to joining Plexus and retired in my 9th year when Plexus decided to pay all my bills. And one of the things that most companies do is a lot of hype and a lot of, you know, you walk, I mean, literally you can fly out of most conventions, which is the same for Plexus, but you walk away going, wow, am I really a part of this? Is this really a dream come true? So walking in, knowing what to expect, going through the, okay, day 1, we're going to find out about this, and day 2, but day 3. Day 3 really blew my mind. Day 3 was 10 times better, except for the fact they didn't tell us where convention was going to be next year. That's not fair.
Leadership retreat. You got to go there.
Right. Well, yeah, right. So you got to get to leadership. So, but anyway, I mean, literally, it takes a lot to blow me away. I've been in a similar type industry for a long time, and it really took my breath away. So I want to read just a couple of things that I wrote down. First, I will tell you that I walked up on stage again this year as a senior Ruby ambassador, and it was really tough for me because we were in that final push to Emerald right before convention. I had this serious emotional breakdown when it didn't happen, but I walked up there with my business partner, and I looked at her and I said, that's it, I'm going to break another record in Plexus. And she goes, what are you talking about? Because somebody was speaking, it was hot and you couldn't hear, and we're just all dying yet. And I said, I'm going to be the one that takes the absolute longest to get to Emerald. So when Betsy just said this before convention, I'm going, man, am I in the race for somebody else? But literally, I just had, I had some, you have gutters on your house. If you have gutters on your house, they get kind of clogged sometimes. And my gutters were cleaned out at convention. I had a new vision. I now have belief that I can do this. And you can look at me and say, really, oh my God, you're a senior Ruby. What do you mean you can believe? Of course, if you're doing it. You guys really don't know the struggles that even those of us who are, in your eyes, successful, the struggles that we go through. You know, like Sarah said, she got into this and she's like, oh my goodness, what do I do now? Well, I got into this after being in another industry for 7 years thinking I knew what I was doing. And I hit that 12 by 12 brick wall. And it was really tough. So I had to kind of backpedal. And what was really bad is I brought somebody all the way with me to go, whoops, we're not doing this right. And she's still with me. She stuck with me through all of that. So here's a couple of things that I took away. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. And that is so true. And I have to remember that because I am full-time in Plexus. And so I can get caught up in busy work and you know, getting caught up on Facebook and not doing the income-producing activity. So that was big for me. And it's easy to quit. And I've watched thousands of people quit, literally. I personally have recruited over 175 people into this organization in almost 4 years. Roughly about 30 of them are still with me, okay? Huge, easy to quit. Be clear about your why. Be very clear. She talked about that. I went back. I just went on a trip this past weekend to go visit some team members about 11 hours from here. And on the way there, I was gonna go through the success guide and realized that I had purchased a new success guide and I hadn't filled it out. And I was devastated because what if I had stood up there in front of that room and opened a success guide that was blank? What kind of leader would I have looked like? Oh, really? Your success guide is blank, but you're telling us to fill it out? So I was able to go through and reset my goals and re-clarify my whys. And you need to update them, like she said anyway. Guys, that was so exciting. I bumped up my income. It's time to bump that up because I almost reached it. I mean, literally, I challenge you. Even though it's an older success guide, most of you haven't seen yours anyway. It's new to you. Admit it, go ahead. And so I challenge you to go home tonight and instead of reading Facebook, instead of watching TV, go through your success guide and actually put a pen and paper to it, okay? And the two things, become a no matter what person, okay? And the last one, I heard this said so many times, and I am living proof of this. It's not about the income you make in this business, it's about the person you become, okay? Now let me explain the t-shirt. I just thought about that. Yeah, the person you become, I become the poop queen. No, seriously, a team member bought me this shirt because talk about being bold. I started talking about a topic most people won't talk about, and that is being able to go to the bathroom. So step out of your comfort zone and be a no matter what person and just do what's in your heart, but write down what's in your heart. Don't just think, oh my gosh, I want to pay off my car. Oh, I want to pay off my house. Oh, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Trust me when I tell you, when you write it down, it just happens. So thank y'all for letting me share.
I might be your record baby.
Thank you
But
for
just
sharing.
don't quit. Don't quit.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I think one of the biggest things that I love to think about is, one, we're all on a different journey. Each and every one of us has a journey that it's taken different roadblocks and detours and obstacles and timelines of where you are and where you're going. But if you guys could leave here tonight, one, knowing what your why is, and then rethinking about where do I want to be and why, but also in knowing that in that journey, no matter how long it takes, one, who am I supposed to become on this journey? What is God trying to do in my heart and you might be stuck at a reason for a long time. You might be in a holding pattern, and God's just going to keep you in that holding pattern until we decide, okay, what am I supposed to be learning in this holding pattern? And I'll share with you also, a lot of people are like, oh, you're a Diamond Ambassador, you've made it to the top, you don't have anything to worry about, nothing stresses you out. And I have to tell you, with a bigger team and the bigger title comes bigger responsibility. And it's a really big place to be, knowing that people are looking to you and watching you. And it's not always roses and sunshine and flowers and unicorns like I like to, that's what Dawn says about me, but that there are obstacles, and there's some pretty big ones. But if you can look at those obstacles and say, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? I reached out to some of my mentors, and Jonak was one that told me, he said, it's really great to lead thousands of people when it's easy, but being able to be a leader through the trenches, knowing that you can face those obstacles and then shine on the other end, that truly shows the journey that you're on and you learning what you're supposed to be. So if you give up when you're in the trenches, you're never going to be able to see that victory. The whole mastermind event theme is dream. We all have a dream. We all have that. Why did we join? How is that going to benefit our lives? But then inadvertently, somewhere along the way, there's going to be a struggle in who we are and what we learn. Now, don't start those pregnancy mama tears, because then I'll cry right along with you. Whatever that struggle is, we're going to learn something, and it's going to affect our lives and the people's lives around us, but there's going to be a victory on the other side of that. And that dream, struggle, victory is going to be different for everybody. And sometimes the struggle is going to be, you know what, today I had somebody say no to me. Sometimes that is a big enough struggle in and of itself. Learning how to not take that rejection personally and to be able to say, you know what, there's somebody else out there that I'm supposed to talk to, that I'm supposed to reach out to. And in that journey with that dream, struggle, victory, I want you guys also to remember to enjoy the journey, because there might be one person, and it might have taken an entire year for that one person to come into our lives and for us to either share this product, these products, or this opportunity. And one day they're going to look back and say, because you shared with me, I'm in a better place. Because you took the time to reach out and be bold, I'm healthy. Because of this, you saved my life. There could be one person, and that one person, you might have struggled for a whole year because God needed to bring you to that one person. So you never know. So I know it's really easy to say, my goal is Emerald by this date, and I want to do this, and I want to have this number of people on my team, and I want 1,500 PB. All of those things are great, and we can all help with the practical. But I really encourage you, Mom, I think you were the one that said, if you wake up and pray, Lord, who can I help today? You know, Lord, show me who I can touch or who can I share with. Making that impact on one life is so much bigger than how fast you made it down. So hopefully that's something that you can think about and know that without a shadow of a doubt, we have products that are changing people's lives and a compensation plan. How amazing that we can teach somebody how to make $300 or $500 extra dollars a month. And that $500 could be the difference between somebody foreclosing on their house, getting their car, you know, repossessed. It could be all of the difference in the world. So that's a huge responsibility for us to know that in doing this, we can have that effect on people. That was just a little, that's lanyard for you. That just came, so you guys get that. I already did right before Danielle. Thank you very much. I had this awesome finish with a bang. I had my notebook with all of my notes, and it's probably perfectly sitting where I left it on my desk. I had it out to prepare. Is there anybody else who had like one tidbit, just one quick sentence that they wanted to share that went to convention who was just blown away by something, or maybe something they learned, something that they decided at convention?
It was Heidi and Jennifer's first convention too.
It was your first convention? Yeah, that's awesome. Y'all had a good time? Okay, come on, Grandma.
He just poked me and told me I was supposed to share this, so I will.
Okay, very good. You're supposed to get up here and talk. You can't get away.
Well, I wanted to give everyone else a chance to talk.
Okay, go. Ready,
So, oh my. I'm so proud of her. Oh, great. I've known her a long time. And I was at the first meeting that she conducted. She had her little 3x5 cards. She wasn't very good at all. She was so nervous, her voice was squeaking like mine is now. I'm not nervous, I'm just feeling emotional.
We can't get through a Plexus meeting without crying. You know that.
She really wasn't very good at all. She didn't start out being a leader. She just started out, you know, wanting to help some people. And we've had a chance to watch this young lady of mine grow from not being very good at all to being one of the top leaders in our company. She is definitely in the top, not 10%, but top people, 10 people in our company. She's recently been chosen to be on the Plexus Advisory Board, and there's only, what, 6 or 7 people. And I always said when I started this that I would never, ever get up in front of a group of people and do a presentation because, you know, public speaking is the #1 scariest thing that anyone could ever do. But I stepped out of my comfort zone and I started doing meetings a few years ago. And now I absolutely love it. I do it every single month. But, you know, I don't do it the way Sarah does it. And you all don't do it the way I do it. And so what I want to say to each one of you is, if you think you can't, you're wrong, because you can. It's good to step out of your plexus or out of your comfort zone sometimes and trust the Lord to help you to do something that you really are afraid to do, that you think that you can't do. But don't compare yourself to others, because, you know, I can't do it the way she does it, and she can't do it the way I do it. And what I've learned is, for each one, just be yourself, because who you are is good. You don't have to be like anyone else. This business is very unique. You're your own boss. You can do it however you want to do it. But most of all, don't try to do it like Sara Marble or like Cindy Jenkins or like Danielle Bullard. Just be yourself, because who you are is good, and that's all it takes. Have that belief in yourself that you can do it, because I know you can.
Preach it, Mom.
You know, we never dreamed that Sara would be raised all the way up to the top of the company, and that she would become the incredible leader that she has become. But guess what? It didn't come overnight. And she worked really hard to get where she is. It's not like she just glided along. I mean, she realized when we both made Emerald, that we had no idea what we were doing. we really didn't. So it doesn't just happen naturally. You know, you do have to work at it. You do have to, you know, put the time and effort into that development, you know, as a leader, as a network marketer. But let's thank Sara Marble. She did a great job tonight. Love you.
Oh, okay, if you don't take anything else away, go sign up your mama and go sign up your sister. Thank you very much. You're a tough act to follow. Going along those same lines, I think one of the most important things that any of you can do is to find your Plexus buddy or your Plexus cheerleader. I definitely would not be here without those two telling me I could do anything that I dreamed possible. And when you have somebody that believes that in you, you want to go make that happen. So if you don't have somebody that's blowing belief into you, if you don't have somebody that can cheer you along the way, keep looking, keep searching, having somebody that can help coach you and guide you, or even just somebody that's running the race right next to you. We're all going to have a bad day. And to be able to have somebody who can give you that positive word of encouragement is so very important. It's very, very helpful. And having a wonderful mom and dad is definitely an added bonus. So thank you very much for that. The last thing I'm going to share is just a quick, Les Brown came to our Diamond meeting Sunday morning at the convention, and I will get a video out for all those notes because I've got pages of notes from the 40 minutes that he shared. But the one thing that sticks out, he said, learn how to share your story so that you can touch people's hearts, so that when they walk away from an encounter with you, they are going to think about a shift in belief in their own mindset, but they're going to know that you're the one that gave that to them. So in other words, we have the capacity and the power with our words and who we are as people to have one exchange, one encounter, one interaction with somebody on this Plexus journey. And we have the opportunity with what we say to give them hope, to give them belief, or to help them shift their mindset so that they know, I can do this. Each of us has that power if we're positive, if we share something with them that's encouraging and motivating. I want to challenge each of you, because we can all do this. This world is going to beat us up. We don't have to participate in that. If we make a choice to have a great outlook, to be positive, to roll with the punches, to stay focused, and to learn how to share our story so that other people say, you know what, I want to do this journey with you, that's truly a gift. He said, never share your story without a point, and never make a point without being able to share a story. And it's true. We can go along and all you have to know is, you know, you know, Danielle, who's been working but never given up, and this is your income, this is your job, and is paying her bills with, you know, picking out stories, even just in this room, if you talk to 2 people and figured out, hey, what is your story? Why do you do Plexus? Being able to share a story so that it can make a point, it's really a talent and a skill that if we practice, we want people to know that after they've had an opportunity to have a conversation with us, that it's been something that's been encouraging, motivating, inspiring, uplifting, and knowing and getting to spend a little bit of time with Les Brown. I had the opportunity to get to be backstage with him for an hour before he came out and spoke. And then again in the Diamond meeting, he has perfected that. He could probably say 1 sentence to 1 person and they would walk away a changed person forever. So I think it's a great thing to know that we all can have that impact on people. And let's not take for granted the platform that we have with 1, the Plexus opportunity, 2, the Plexus products, and 3, just the people that we can grow to be. Network marketing is like this university of you can grow and do anything you want to do. All of the tools and resources are there, and we all have the capacity to go to the top and be the best that we can be. So I'll end with that challenge of we can stay positive, encouraging, motivated. We can all work together for the greater good of Plexus, but let's all leave the people that we come in contact with just a little bit better than when we found them before they talked to us. Okie dokie, we've got about 10 or 15 minutes. If you guys have any specific questions, we'll do some quick questions, and then we will be ready to rock and roll and be on our way. I'm good for staying all night. I could do this all night, but go ahead, Rebecca.
I just saw something recently that Angie posted on our page, and it was a little free Excel training, and it helped me a lot. I mean, I didn't go to convention or anything, but I'm going to take some time this week and study my back office, because learning Excel is really important when you want to figure out what's going on.
Absolutely. Allison Bro made that quick little video, and I can post it. Our back office is a great resource and a great tool, and she's talking about you can go into your back office reports and you can do your downline or you can do your customers, and we have the opportunity or option. You can export to Excel or CSV file or PDF. If you export that to Excel, you can organize your team and you can see who has the highest personal volume. You know, there's a lot of different ways. Now Excel is like German to me, any other foreign language, Russian. I don't do Excel, but it's one of those things that's on my list of things to learn. But the back office has a really good capability to be able to do that. But getting to know your back office is great. And even for the simpler things for the new people, knowing if you're commission qualified, being able to know how to log into your back office and then do your ambassador downline and see where you can see, you know, the new people are in green, the active people are in blue if it's their month after they've enrolled. There's a lot of great things. This Zoom, I'm so excited because I played around with screen sharing so that I can have my little picture at the top and then screen share. And I think I'm going to start doing a few little back office tutorials like Allison did. But that's a very good point with that. While I'm thinking about it, the Mega X, like they said, went into the vault last night. They are reformulating just the capsule. The capsule had one ingredient that had a little bit of, you know, people were a little bit concerned about the negative having to defend the carrageenan, so that is being updated. They are looking for a new vegetable source of the gelatin, or it's not going to be gelatin, but of just the gel cap. A lot of people did go ahead and order if you don't have a sensitivity to the carrageenan, or knowing that it's just in the capsule. A lot of people did order. I'm thrilled and excited about what this product is going to do. I printed up, if you guys don't follow SJ Plexus Designs,
And that's not me, that's what different.
right, it's not me either. She has a great insert that can go into the brochure and has all of the talking points for what's the big deal about omegas 3, 6, 9, 5, and 7. I'm super, super excited about supports brain health.
Yeah.
My 3 boys, yes, stress management,
Relaxation.
aids and relaxation. Yes, there's a few points on there that we're allowed to make those claims, so I'm really, really excited about that. And then you missed convention, you're really bummed. Don't miss Leadership Retreat. Leadership Retreat was announced. It's going to be right outside Washington, D.C. at a Gaylord resort. It looks absolutely gorgeous. How do you earn the Leadership Retreat? You need 650 leadership retreat convention, oh, it's not convention, but contest points. The credits, everything that we talked about tonight with 531, the perfect plan, making your list, reaching out to people, you're gonna get those contest points by having people enroll in levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're gonna get 10 credits for any new team member down 4 levels. You're gonna get credits for personal volume, so reaching out and sharing with people and getting new customers. You're gonna get 5 credits for new retail or preferred customers whose orders are over 50 of personal volume. And then anybody who has certain 200 to 500 and then 500 to 1,000, over 1,500 are all ways that you can earn credits. So you need 650 credits. Once you earn those 650 credits, you are then invited to the leadership retreat and they pay for your room. So you just have to get yourself there. And so the leaders are gonna be there and it's a great place. It's a little bit smaller than convention. There's a lot more free time, so more time to spend with your teams and do some sightseeing and stuff like that. So if your goal is to get those 650 credits and you want to message me and let me know and say, help me work a plan so we can get there. What are the dates? October 15th through the 18th. So I hope everybody's there. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be great. How are we doing on time? How do we do?
8:15.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Right when I wanted it to end. Yes, one more question.
You know, we all started out as a breast health company.
Yes.
We had one product called the breast check kit. And I would say that our shirts were right in there with Danielle.
Yes, they absolutely
the front
were.
of our shirt said, got breasts? And the back of it said,
Examine
them.
Okay, at the end of this.
Yes.
She invited me to go to the Eve ball with her. And she made me wear the shirt.
Do you know
How many men offered to examine? It was so fair.
Okay, so if you can't hear on Zoom, she's Libby and Colleen. Libby has been in the company since 2007. Yes. And Libby is also an Emerald Ambassador. I should have made you come up here and share in front of the camera.
I know, I shared.
Okay.
Right here.
Our t-shirts though, when we just for breast health, on the front said got breasts with a big question mark, and on the back it said examine them, and that was all we had for marketing, and I still have 3 of them hanging in my closet. Yes, I wore them very proudly. Yep, even had some pink scrub pants that matched the little breast cancer awareness ribbon. Yep.
we made up our own brochures?
So y'all need to all say, thank you, Jesus, we're in Plexus in the year 2015. And we have 15 products that we can market. We've got catalogs. We've got all kinds of great, awesome, wonderful stuff. So,
I guess I'll have to get a got poop shirt now.
yeah, there you go. Thank you all so much for coming. For those of you that drove. And thank you to everybody that Zoomed in. I trust that you behaved in the chat room because I didn't even check it. But I'm so glad you guys checked in. Dad had this little webcam, and I'll try to get the recordings up. But thank you all very much. Yep, Jen. Let me. I'm gonna unmute you. Hold on. Hey, Jen. Wait, unmute. Hold on. Who else is on there? You're unmuted now. Oh, we have to. Can we put it on to here and put it?